Shabbat Shalom, everyone, and welcome to Temple Beth Or. We're happy to have you with us tonight. Our virtual flowers tonight are sponsored by Joyce Kessler in honor of her late husband, Don. Joyce, as you know, I have many fond memories of Don, which I have shared with you. As a reminder, we will be reopening for live services on May 21st, just a couple of weeks from now. However, as we are still under COVID protocols, we will be following all the guidance of the LA County Department of Public Health. You must register online no earlier than 72 hours before services in order to answer the screening questions, and you will be screened and checked at the door. There will be no admission without a prior reservation. I do encourage you to go online and take a look at the reservation process. It's pretty easy. If you have any questions or difficulties, contact Sue Carey, and she'll be happy to walk you through it. Once we are done with the screening process necessity for Friday night services, we will be using this system for many other occasions which require reservations. So it is important that you familiarize yourself with the process online. It's really very easy. Once you've completed the process, a ticket will be sent to your email for you to print out and bring with you. We're looking forward to getting back live, even on a limited basis, and I look forward to seeing you all. As always, many thanks to our professional staff, Rabbi Goldfarb, Cantor Jaffe, and of course our accompanist, Dr. Ray Irwin, and to our technical volunteers, Phil Carey, David Youngman, and Chris Jastrock. I wish you all a Shabbat Shalom.
And thank you, Dina, for sharing all that information with us. Yes, excited about the 21st, and very much looking forward to welcoming people back into our sanctuary. In the meantime, we will stay safe and we will proceed with all of our precautions. Shabbat Shalom to you all from Temple Beth Or here in La Mirada. We are grateful to have you with us this evening. In addition to those announcements and the flowers, we have our Shabbat greetings. An opportunity for members of our congregation to financially support the congregation with special Shabbat greetings. This week from Ted and Noel Singer, Eileen Mignella, Rita and Bob Rubin, and Leslie Berger. I wish to note that Leslie Berger is a member of our temple board and a past president of our congregation. So thank you all very much for your support and supporting our congregation through the Shabbat greetings. And as you heard, in memory of Don Kessler, Joyce Kessler has sponsored wonderful flowers for us, complete with their own special planter. That's wonderful. Don, I'm sure, would greatly appreciate that. Don was quite an institution here at our congregation at Temple Beth Or. I remember one particular story of Don. We have some large trees in our yard, and apparently one of them needed pruning. This was several years ago, but Don was still probably too old to be doing this, but he did it anyway, climbed up on a ladder to help prune one of the trees, the very top of the tree. Joyce was looking for him. People just kind of pointed, and Joyce reminded Don that that's probably not the best thing he should be doing. So I certainly do miss Don. He's quite an institution in our congregation. Thank you, Joyce, for sponsoring these flowers. We welcome this Shabbat. We've come to an end of a week. Yes, of course, we always come to an end of a week. But it's appropriate to make Friday night not just another night. And I know that during our pandemic days, it may have been difficult to differentiate between Mondays and Wednesdays and Thursdays because the routine became rather monotonous. But when Friday evening comes, we have the opportunity to break that routine, to begin to see the world anew, the world with fresh eyes. This is what we do on Shabbat. We open our hearts, we open our minds to the possibilities that Shabbat can bring to us and to enrich our lives. Source of all goodness, as we join in Shabbat worship, we ask your blessings. Grant us health enough to perform our daily tasks, wealth enough to answer our needs, compassion enough to feel the needs of others. Give us strength enough to recognize our faults, wisdom enough to understand your laws, loyalty enough to discharge our duties. Give us courage enough to be true to the best within us, and charity enough to see the best in others. Give us patience enough not to become discouraged, and hope enough to overcome all fears for the future, and faith enough to feel your presence. And let us all say, Amen.
Amen.
We welcome Shabbat with a melody from Baghdad, melody and words from Baghdad. Ki Eshmara Shabbat. When I keep the Sabbath, God guards me. It is a sign for all eternity between God and me. Ki Eshmara Shabbat.
ישמר השבת, ישמרני, כי ישמר השבת, ישמרני, אותי לעולמי עד בינו וביני, אותי לעולמי עד בינו وبيني كي يشمر الشبات يشمرني كي يشمر الشبات يشمرني.
I invite you to make ready to continue welcoming Shabbat with setting up some candles. Make sure you have some matches, a bissel of juice or wine, as is your favorite beverage, for which we might be able to share in a kiddush. To light candles in all the world, that is Shabbat. To light Shabbat candles is a soul leap pregnant with potential into a splendid sea, in it the mystery of the fire of sunset. Lighting the candles transforms my room into a river of light. My heart sets in an emerald waterfall.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kideshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu להדליק נר שבת, שבת, שבת.
Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, source of all being, who calls us to holy acts through mitzvot and inspires us to kindle these lights of Shabbat. We continue with the words of our Kiddush, acknowledging the joy that exists in the world around us, although that joy might at times have been overshadowed by sorrow and difficulties. Nonetheless, we look at the past week and search for those joyous moments as we celebrate our Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidishanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho, be'ahava uvratzon, inchilanu, zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit. Ki hu yom techila, lemikra kodesh, zecher litziat Mitzrayim. Kivanu v'acharta v'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon inchaltanu. Baruch Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. Amen. Chaim Rav.
L'chaim Chazan. And L'chaim Ray.
Chaim Ray. Ray's got his cup now.
Yes, yes. Ray is, we put the band back together. Ray's part of the trio up here. That was a bit delayed. No more grape juice for you, young man. May our prayers be spoken with sincerity and with truth. May our prayers be uttered in humility, acknowledging our frailty and our need for sustaining strength. May our prayers be offered in gratitude for the blessings we've experienced, too numerous to be counted. May we firmly resolve to take the words of our prayers with us and permit them to guide our actions in the week ahead. May our prayers speak words of hope to the discouraged, cheer to the distressed, solace to the bereaved, and kindness to all. May our prayers reflect not only our own needs, but also the needs of others and the needs of our people. May our prayers challenge us to become all that we are capable of being. Our service continues with the words of our Baruch Hu, our call to worship.
Adonai HaMevorach, Baruch Adonai HaMevorach, Le'olam Va'ed. Lai, 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 lai. Lie, 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 lie.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, b'chokhmah poteach she'arim, uvitfonah meshaneh itim umachalif et hazmanim. Umsader et hakochavim B'mishmaroteihem barakia kirtzono. Borei yom v'layla golel or mipnei choshech v'choshech mipnei or. Uma'avir yom u'mevi layla umavdil ben yom uvein layla Adonai tzvaot shemo. El chai v'kayam. Tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai hama'ariv aravim. Judaism, done right, has the power to save your life from being spent entirely on the trivial. But it can do more than that. Its goal is not just to make your life more satisfying. Its goal is not the survival of the Jewish people. That is a means to an end, not an end in itself. The ultimate goal of Judaism is to transform the world into the kind of world God had in mind when God created it.
Adonai echad. Baruch Shem Kevod, Shem Kevod Malchuto Leholam, Leolam Va'ed. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Where the mind is without fear, and the head is held high, where knowledge is free, where the world is not being broken into fragments by narrow domestic walls, where words come from the depths of truth, where tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way in the arid desert sands of dead habit, where the mind is led forward by you into ever-widening thought and action, into that heaven of freedom, my Maker, let my people awake.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה. מלכותך ראו בניך בוקי הים לפני משה ומרים, זרי ענהו ויאמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד.
We thank you for your gift of the Sabbath, your holy day. It reminds us of the work of creation. It is ever new. It nurtures and renews our souls. Help us to understand its true value so that we will not abuse it. Help us to observe it in peace of mind and purity of heart. Help us to live humbly by your commandments that we may serve you in truth.
Yam ba ba bum bum bum, Shabbat Shabbat. Yam ba ba bum bum bum, Shabbat Shabbat. Yam ba ba bum bum bum, Shabbat Shabbat. Shabbat Shabbat, Shabbat Shabbat. ישמחו, ישמחו במלכותך, ישמחו, ישמחו במלכותך. שומרי שבת, שומרי שבת, וקורא עונג שבת. שומרי שבת, שומרי שבת, וקורא עונג שבת. המקדש שבי שבת שבת, המקדש שבי שבת שבת. כולם ישמעו ויתענגו מטובך שבת, שבת, שבת. ישמחו, ישמחו במלכותך, ישמחו, ישמחו במלכותך. שומרי שבת, שומרי שבת, וקורא עונג שבת. שומרי שבת, שומרי שבת, וקורא עונג שבת. והשביעי רצית בו שבת שבת, רצית בו וקידשתו שבת שבת. חמדת ימים אותו קראת, זכר מעשה בראשית שבת שבת. ישמחו, ישמחו במלכותך, ישמחו, ישמחו במלכותך. שומרי שבת, שומרי שבת, וקורא עונג שבת. שומרי שבת, שומרי שבת, וקורא עונג שבת.
We gather in our virtual community as we move in prayer. Ears filled with the echoes of voices of friends, teachers, fellow travelers who pray with us from the past, from the present, perhaps even in the same room. Connected first one to all, we now let go, to be alone with the Holy One, to speak in mind and heart and soul The prayers we weave together cannot replace that private conversation. God, our partner, awaits us, one by one, a miracle.
Adonai sifatai tiftach ufia gitehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, v'Koneh Hakol, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם למען שמו באהבה מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע מוריד הטל, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומיתו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישוע ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
There are many fine things which you mean to do someday, under what you think will be more favorable circumstances. But the only time that is surely yours is the present. Hence, this is the time to speak the work of appreciation and sympathy, to do the generous deed, to forgive the fault of a thoughtless friend, to sacrifice self a little more for others. Today is the day in which to express your noblest qualities of your mind and of your heart, to do at least one worthy thing which you have long postponed, and to use your God-given abilities for the enrichment of some less fortunate fellow traveler. Today you can make your life significant and worthwhile. The present is yours to do with as you will.
Re'tzeh Adonai Eloheinu be'amecha Yisrael u'tefilatam be'ahava תקבל ותהי לרצון תמיד עבודת ישראל עמך אל קרוב לכל קוראיו פנה אל עבדיך וכוננו שפוך רוחך עלינו ותחזנה עינינו בשובך לציון ברחמים ברוך אתה אדוני המחזיר שכינתו
Beautiful, Cantor. A beautiful melody for Retzei. Thank you. Just as the hand held before the eye can hide the tallest mountain, so the routine of everyday life can keep us from seeing the vast radiance and the secret wonders that fill the world. Baruch atah Adonai, Havarech et amo Yisrael bashalom.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam Ki Ata Hu Melech Adon לכל השלום כי אתה הוא מלך אדון לכל השלום שלום רב ישראל עמך תשים לעולם שלום רב ישראל עמך תשים לעולם וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך שלום רב ישראל עמך תשים לעולם שלום רב ישראל עמך תשים לעולם תשים לעולם תשים לעולם.
We extend our prayers for shalom, wholeness, and peace to those who have found their very sense of shalom, that very wholeness, disturbed, perhaps even shattered by the challenges that they are facing. In the moment our cantor will lead us in our Mishaberach, I share this prayer as a way of bringing all of us into this time as we think of those who are struggling, those who are wrestling, perhaps even members of our family and our friends. Mishaberach avotenu v'imotenu. May the one who blessed our ancestors bless all those who put themselves at risk to care for the sick. Our physicians and nurses, orderlies, patient transporters, hospital cleaning staff, security guards, technicians, home health aides, EMTs, and pharmacists, all who navigate the unfolding dangers of the world each day to tend to those they have sworn to help. May they be blessed in their coming home and blessed in their going out. May the sacred work of their hands be blessed, and may they bring strength and healing to those they serve. We include those members of our congregation, their family and their friends who are facing challenges to their health and to their well-being. May the knowledge of your presence help ease their fear, sustain them, and give them strength. And may the time come soon when they, and indeed when all of us can breathe without fear. I invite you to share aloud the name of a loved one who is in need of this prayer for hope and healing. Baruch atah Adonai Rofei HaCholim. We praise you, O God, who helps us bring hope and healing to those who are in need. And let us say, Amen. Amen.
Sheberach Avotenu Avraham Yitzchak Yaakov Mi Sheberach Imotenu Sarah Rivka Leah Rachel. May the one who blessed our mothers, may the one who blessed our fathers, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well. Bless us with the power of your healing. Bless us with the power of your hope. May our hearts be filled with understanding and strengthened with the power of your love. Mi sheberach avotenu Avraham, Yitzchak, v'Yaakov. Mi sheberach imotenu Sarah, Rivka, Leah, v'Rachel. May the one who blessed our mothers, may the one who blessed our fathers, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well.
As always, Cantor, thank you so much for the music you bring to our worship services. I caught the new melody for Micha Mocha this evening, but
yes,
we'll tie that in at the end. You
exactly.
have a treat for us at the end.
We'll just keep it as a little secret.
A secret for now. Dr. Irwin, as always, grateful to have you with us as well. So wonderful to see the healing has continued. Grateful to have you with us this evening. And of course, to our tech team, Phil Carey, David Youngman, and Chris Jastrock, thank you guys so much for helping to stream our worship services out into the big wide world. And to all of you who are viewing on YouTube, we are so grateful to be able to share with you. Yes, we would much prefer if we'd be able to meet in person, but since some of you are joining us from Brazil, that would be a bit of a schlep. So we're grateful to have you with us on our YouTube channel. This weekend, tomorrow as a matter of fact, we will read the concluding Torah portions from the book of Leviticus. We come to the end of the book of Leviticus, and tomorrow morning during our Shabbat Torah study, 10:30, we will have a chance to delve more deeply into the items in this week's Torah portion. Tonight I want to focus in on one of the customs that we Jews engage in when we come to the end of a book of our Torah. There is a phrase that we say when we come to the end of the reading of that particular book. And it's important to note that we know that's not the last time we're going to read that book. In the fall, we're going to start the whole process all over again. We're going to read the last verses of Deuteronomy and the first verses of Genesis, the last verses of Devarim and the first verses of Bereshit, and start the process all over again. And so it's kind of puzzling because we know we're going to come back to the book of Leviticus in several months' time. We will be reading from this book again, and yet when we come to the end of the reading of a book of the Torah, we say the phrase, Chazak, Chazak v'nit chazek. Chazak, Chazak v'nit chazek. Chazak, the Hebrew word, means be strong, means strength. Chazak, Chazak, be strong, be strong. V'nit chazek, which for those of you who are Hebrew grammarians, this is the nif'al verb, a reflexive verb, and we will be strengthened. Be strong, and we will be strengthened, or we will grow stronger. This is the phrase we say when we come to the end of the reading of a book of Torah, knowing that we are going to begin another book, and in a few months' time, we're going to come right back to that very book that we had just concluded. Chazak, Chazak, v'nit chazek, we say, be strong, and we will be strengthened. And it's a phrase I think we need to hear a lot these days, not just at the ending of the book of Leviticus or Numbers, Genesis or Exodus. It is a phrase we need to hear every day, especially during these pandemic days, which fortunately seem to be waning for us. Chazak, Chazak, v'nit chazek, be strong, and we will be strengthened. It challenges each one of us individually to be strong, to not give in to fears, to not give in to conspiracies, to not give in to the weaker parts of us. Be strong. And as the individuals within our society show that strength, together as a society, as a community, we will all be strengthened. Because individually, we human beings might be smart, intelligent creatures. But one of my favorite lines from the movie Men in Black, where the police officer who is being recruited into this secret society of alien protectors and alien, these are aliens from a different planet. For those of you who are not familiar with Men in Black, as the police officer, the New York police officer, is being recruited into this secret organization, he says to the veteran of this secret organization, well, people are smart, why don't you just tell them what's really going on? And the response is, an individual is smart, but people are dumb, frightened animals, and you as a police officer, you know that. There is indeed, as we work towards this herd immunity, there is also a herd mentality that can take over. We saw the devastating effects of this just last weekend as the Jewish community was commemorating Lag Bomer, this joyous day of bonfires and cookouts and celebration of Jewish mystical tradition. A stampede broke out as a group of Jews were visiting this Mount Meron, the burial place for Yehuda ben Zakkai, one of our great rabbis. And the tragedy that ensued from that stampede, the cause of which is still unknown. But human beings, when we get into a large mass of human beings, we do develop a herd mentality and suddenly become, and can become, very panicked and frightened animals. Chazak. Chazak v'nit chazek. When we are strong, we are able to strengthen our community. When we are strong as individuals, we are able to be a source of strength for others around us who are all facing the same challenges with regards to this pandemic. Be strong. Be strong, and we will be strengthened. Let us take this message to heart, not only as we conclude the book of Leviticus and prepare for the reading of the book of Numbers. Let us apply this to our daily lives. Chazak, chazak. Be strong. When other people are showing their weakness, their fear, let us be a source of strength for them. When other people become focused only on themselves, let us remind them that we are all traveling in this boat together, and that we all must be strong for each other. Our people has faced trials and tribulations far worse than this pandemic within recent memory. Chazak, chazak, v'nit chazek. As we as individuals reach into our hearts and find our strength to respond, then as a community, we will be stronger. Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.
And on this particular Friday, Chazak, Chazak, V'nit Chazek, let us turn our attention to those who are celebrating wonderful events this month. Anniversaries, birthdays. Sorry, that's all the information that we have here in our office. But some of you may be burning a mortgage. Some of you may be making a final payment on that car or credit card or whatever it is, or a student loan. There's lots of happy occasions we wish to acknowledge and to celebrate. Our official information deals primarily with anniversaries and birthdays, but we include all of you who are celebrating whatever that special event is. A retirement, a good report from the doctor, good grades from school, whatever that happy event is. But we want to acknowledge, in particular, the anniversaries taking place this month. And so we wish a hearty mazel tov to Morris and Evelyn Spaber, David and Karen Sane, Toby and Dana Porter, David and Sandy Scharf, Dr. Michael and Debbie Rudolph, and Bob and Rita Rubin. Mazel tov and happy anniversary to you all. And to those members of our congregation celebrating a birthday here in this month of May, we want to acknowledge Peter Gelmini, Lori Rosenfeld, Evelyn Zucker, Fran Benvenisti, Mackenzie Morris, Helene Moss, Sophia Galvin, Alyssa Rose, Harry Fox, Marian Gasser, Hannah Green, Sherry Held, Alec LeBeau, Eddie Goldstein, Ryan Morris, Roberta Hirschbein, Wilma Shear, Cynthia Tessler, Barry Block, Sandy Block, Kathy Rudd, Joseph Horowitz, Nancy Griffin, Adrian Berger, Art Hess, Jeff Shear, May was a busy month, Sue Rubin, Lorraine Stein, Michael Sugarman, Mark Bornstein, Charlene Brotman, Douglas Kotkin, and Avia Askenazi. Wow, wonderful. Happy birthday to you all. And for all the other happy events taking place during the month of May, we join with our Cantor in the singing of our prayer of gratitude, our Shehechianu, praising God for giving us life, sustaining us, and enabling us to celebrate all of these happy occasions.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam שהחיינו וקימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה.
Mazel tov to all of our May birthdays and May anniversaries. May you celebrate in health, in safety, and of course, in joy. Mazel tov to you all. We move to the conclusion of our worship service with the words of our adoration, the Aleinu. Let us now praise the Sovereign of the universe and proclaim the greatness of the Creator who spread out the heavens and established the earth, whose glory is revealed in the heavens above and whose greatness is manifest throughout the world. You are our God, there is none else. Therefore we bow in awe and thanksgiving before the one who is sovereign over all, the Holy and the Blessed One.
משתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ביום ההוא ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד ושמו אחד ושמו אחד.
Our thoughts now turn to those who have departed this earth, those who live on in our hearts and our memories, and in the place we call Olam Haba, the world to come. We call to mind one for whom we are observing the Shiva period, Berta Ursus, the sister-in-law of Eli Ursus. And Eli, our hearts go out to you. To her name, we link the names of those whose yardsites have occurred during this past week. Stephen Philip Brotman, Lena Winger, Beth Jacoby Deitch, William Kruskal, Kate Silver, Shirley Hahn, Ruth Carlson, Juan Silvas, Estelle Dunst, Evangeline Irwin, Ruth Rosen, Ron Mills, Bob Gordon, Ralph J. Hambro, Stephen Schechter, Seymour Gordon, Janice Lutsky Taxi, Harriet Brenner Icegrowl, Harry Sandow, Beatrice Galper, Jeanette Hanan, and Aaron Dove Krotinger. To those names, we link the names of those for whom we are observing the Kaddish period: Roland Berger, David Zimmerman, Cleavon Steve Dyson, Harry Bass, Martha Manriquez, Enid Malkin, Phyllis Ryback Diamond, Marvin First, Robert Weber, Marvin J. Gilman, Elvia Amirez, Marlene Bielsma, Bernard Haber, Sam Ursus, Rosalie McKinsey, Hal Bruce Hamleman Jr., Joseph Rofe, Mildred Sane, Harold Weber, Karen Copeland, Rita Silverman, Sandra Pascas, Marlene Engel, Leslie Pascas Amador, Edith Zaro, Concha Chavez, John Young, Gerald Kotkin, Ross B. Shear, Jenna Gordon, Doug Austin, and Edith Chess. If there's a loved one whom you are remembering, I invite you to share that name at this time. To those that we have named aloud and to those that we keep name in the quiet places of our hearts and memories, We link as well the names and memories of the men and women of our armed forces who have given their lives for our liberties and our freedoms, those who have given their lives for our safety here at home, members of our police, our firefighters and other first responders, members of the Israeli Defense Forces who have given their lives for the hope of peace, those Americans who have died by gun violence this past week, indeed a school shooting that has taken place in our nation just this past week. How sad and tragic. And, of course, the almost 570,000 Americans who have died from COVID-19. Zichronam levracha. May their memories be for a blessing as we share together the words of our Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabba.
Amen.
Be'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael. Ba'gala uv'izman kariv v'imru. Amen.
Amen.
Yehei shemei Rabba mevarach le'olam ulalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei Tukadasha b'richu. Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechamata. Da'amiran b'yalma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shmaya. V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen.
Amen.
Oseh shalom b'mromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen.
Amen.
May all of us who mourn and all of us who are bereaved, may we find through God's eternal presence a source of strength, courage, and hope, above all a source of shalom, of peace. And let us all say, Amen.
Amen.
And Cantor, I believe you have a special closing song for us this evening.
That's right. So we heard it in the Micha Mocha, and what the melody is, it's a very beloved song for a very important city in the Jewish people, in the hearts of the Jewish people. Of course, we're talking about, there's only one city, New York.
It's got to be, yeah.
No, it's Jerusalem. And, sorry about that. And it's actually the 54th anniversary of the reunification of the city of Jerusalem. And this Monday is going to be that anniversary. And so the song is called Lach Yerushalayim, and is for you, Jerusalem, between the city walls. For you, Jerusalem, a new light will shine in our hearts. There exists but one song for you, Jerusalem, between Jordan and the sea.
And the sea. Yom Yerushalayim, in celebration of Yom Yerushalayim. For Jerusalem, may your inhabitants always know peace. So from all of us here at Temple Beth Or, we wish you a very safe, a very restful, a very peaceful, a healthy Shabbat filled with shalom, wholeness and peace. Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.